Hi guys, today we're going to be looking at a game called Life is Strange, which is an episodic release game, in the same vein as Telltale's games, kind of like the Walking Dead and the Game of Thrones series they've recently started doing, and also like Heavy Rain, for instance, where it's not so much about the action in the game, it's more of an interactive storybook really, where the emphasis is on the story and the decisions you make, and seeing how those decisions play out later on in the game. Now this game is made by the same people who did Remember Me, which most people probably won't know about really, but that was a really good game as well. This game, you play as an 18-year-old girl called Max, who recently returned to her hometown, drifts off in school and has a vision of a giant tornado that's about to wipe out the town really, which is discovered later on. It's basically going to happen on Friday of the week she's currently in, so it's kind of like an oh shit moment. Also on top of that, she also discovers the fact she can actually rewind time. Now, if the tornado and the rewind time mechanic are linked, it's not really explained yet, but currently it's only up to episode 2 out of 5 I think in total. But I've enjoyed the game so much, and to be honest I think the episodes are so lengthy on their own anyway, I feel like I've got a good basis to actually give this game a review. And really I just want people to buy it because I think people, if you're interested in story, will really enjoy the game. And also, being slightly selfish, I want them to do more in future, so more people buy it, more chance it will happen. Which is pretty much the best endorsement I can give a game really. Now, one thing I will mention about this is the soundtrack. I absolutely loved. Usually I don't even notice soundtracks in games, but it's quite laid back and mellow and it suits this game perfectly, as does the art style to be honest. Yes, it's not top of the range graphics or anything, but it fits perfectly for this world. The rewind time mechanic, basically when something happens that you don't like, press L1 I think it is, and it'll rewind to the last significant event. If you don't like that part, rewind back even further. Of course there's a limit, as soon as you leave the area you can't rewind any further. But yeah, that mechanic works really well for this kind of game. It's a masterstroke really.
Dude, I need a target before I shoot.
The town itself is kind of like a small American town, which kind of reminds me of Twin Peaks kind of, where every character's really well written and quite in depth. You got the usual geek girls, skater boys, and bitchy mean rich girls and this that and the other, but scratch the surface and there are more underneath. They're not just one-dimensional characters, so they've been well written, which I do appreciate in these kind of games really, because I know usually they like to fit a little box and then think, right, that's a bitch, that's a nice person, and that's the bad guy. But luckily so far none of them seem to fit like that. To add a bit more to the mystery, there also seems to be a main plot point of a girl going missing and trying to work out exactly what happened and who she was really. But so far it's turning out that almost everyone has had some dealing with a girl or weird little secrets involving the girl, so I'm not sure what that's going to lead to. But I absolutely love the way the game's built. There's just many little small things you can find in the game. Now there are a couple of negatives you can find with the game really. With it being set in a school, and obviously you're a schoolgirl, she's actually in a class talking about photography and everything, and she does a lot of inner monologuing talking about photographers and cameras and such and so forth. I've got no interest in stuff like that. I don't know anything about it really, but if you can get past those, that's the only downside of the game I can find really, to be honest. What I do think is quite cute is the little journal she keeps. She writes down literally everything, and someone's really been a proper labour of love to someone. They've made it really sound and feel like an 18-year-old girl has written in it all the usual angst and everything. Well, I'm assuming that's what a teenage girl thinks like. I've never been able to understand women my entire life, so hopefully someone can tell me if that's roughly similar. I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of detail and content in there, and I like the fact someone's put the effort in. Even if I couldn't be bothered reading half of it, it's good to know it's there.
Isn't that too easy? Shh. I believe Max has taken what you kids call a selfie.
But yeah, I think one of the major cruxes of this game as well is
Max has a gift.
Max, the main character, left this part of America when she was 13. I can't remember where she moved to, further away anyway, and has recently returned 5 years on, and she's not spoke to her best mate in that time at all. So of course reconnect in the first episode, and it's about them trying to catch up with each other and how they've both changed so much over the years, really. Like her friend Chloe's gone through a lot of big changes and is almost completely different to the girl she once knew. And there's various reasons for that, and it's actually really quite interesting, to be honest, seeing how things can change over time. And to be honest, I just like really good stories, and this one feels like it's really well written and it's interesting. All I can say is, if you're interested in story, please give this game a look, because it is really worth it. There's a lot of little Easter eggs in there, like some of the graffiti on walls I've noticed. There's one that's wrote on the mirror, actually, saying "Fire Walk with Me," which of course, if you're a geek, it's a Twin Peaks reference. And there's also another one, "I Aim to Misbehave," which, if you're an even bigger geek, you might know that's from Firefly. I can't remember if it's some Serenity film or not. I'm not sure. Definitely from that series though. But yeah, I just think this world is really well written and well built, and I like the fact how every character is interesting and not just a straightforward cliche of something. So I'm interested to see how the next 3 episodes play out, but definitely worth a look. And there is actually a demo of the first episode. I think you get the first half of the episode, so you'll get an idea if you like the game off that, to be honest. So please give it a look, and thank you for watching, guys. I shall see you next time.
I wish we could stay forever.